But first, the PM isn't helping his voice campaign by sneering at anyone who disagrees with him. In a speech tonight, parts of which were leaked to the Financial Review, he calls voice opponents chicken littles and asks rhetorically, remember how the sky was going to fall in after the apology? Well, please enjoy the sky as you head back out today. It's still safely in place. Now, frankly, this kind of low-grade sarcasm demeans a Prime Minister regardless of the issue. But it's particularly out of place in a debate about changing our Constitution. After all, it's the PM who says, on the one hand, that this constitutionally entrenched voice is just a matter of being polite, and on the other hand, says it's going to fix all the problems besetting the first Australians. And it's the PM who has resolutely refused to say exactly how this voice will be chosen, what impact its representations will have, and who will be required to listen. Unlike Kevin Rudd's apology, which was a formal acknowledgement of past mistakes, the voice, if it gets up, will radically change our future. And it'll do it by changing the way we're governed. Essentially, government won't be able to do anything of significance without running it first past the voice. To voice advocates, that's the least they reckon that should be done, given their view that this is stolen land. But the voice is just the start. It's the tip of the iceberg, the soft sell to get you over the line. And once it's all in the Constitution, well, then the real agenda will swing into gear. Treaties are next, no doubt with billions and billions of your money paid out in compensation, plus supposed truth-telling or the rewriting of Australian history as a story of shame. And we know this is right because the Prime Minister says over and over again that his government is committed to implementing the Uluru Statement in full. So there's no doubt about what a vote for the voice really means. And as voters come to understand this, more and more we're seeing the support for the voice continue to slide. And when the vote slides and a political leader starts name-calling, not dissimilar to Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables line, well, it smacks of desperation. Pretty much, it's the beginning of the end, or I hope it's the end of this voice, because it's not a fear campaign to reject race-based distinctions being put into our Constitution. It's actually standing up for constitutional equality. And it's about honouring Martin Luther King's magnificent appeal to judge people by the content of their character, not the colour of their skin. And mocking everyone who thinks that our Constitution should be colour-blind and who thinks that Australia is a country to take pride in isn't smart politics. As I've said, the local equivalent, this is, from the PM, of Hillary Clinton's patronising put-down. Likewise, business blue blood Michael Chaney, the chairman of Wesfarmers, he's out of line with his crack today that opposing the referendum would be a betrayal of the Australian people and would cause overseas investors to doubt that Australia was a fair country. Now, but hang on, Michael Chaney. Where in the US Constitution do they give Native Americans a constitutionally guaranteed voice to the Congress and a say in White House administration? Well, nowhere. They don't. So this idea that we'll somehow be marked down as a country for not doing what any other country doesn't do is just nonsense. In fact, the UN calls out any country that tries to divide its people by race, and yet that's what Labor and the elites are asking Australians to do. Any wonder the PM's getting personal and desperate, and any wonder ordinary people are really getting their backs up.